Okay, nice work on the animated invert filter. The next exercise is album cover. We're going to create an animated album cover for your band. Okay, if you're not in a band, don't worry about it. I'm not in a band either. We're just going to make this up. First, we need to find a geometric picture, put it on the web page, and then add any animation filter you want to it. Okay, don't forget the header to tell us what your band name is. Again, let's just make this up if we're not in a band, okay? We are going to start here in the HTML by first inserting a header with our band name. So I'm going to go with, if I wasn't a band, I'd probably do something mythical like Draco. Okay, Draco is Latin for dragon or serpent. I'm really into dragons and dragon art, so I'm going to go with that for now. Okay, was the first thing that came to mind. And I searched up in Google Images geometric dragon print. With the tools, I filtered by images that are labeled for reuse with modification, just to make sure that I'm modifying images that I have the permission to do so for. Okay, so I love this first result that came up, the Mystic Asian Dragon. So I'm going to use this as my album cover art. I'm going to copy the image address, and then over in the HTML, I'm going to add a tag for my image. Okay, I'm going to set up the code before I paste that link in. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, beautiful. So we got I got my dragon image in there with my band name. All right, beautiful. So now I'm ready to add the animation to it. But before I do so, one last thing I want to add is a class to my image so that I can write a rule for it. Okay, so I'm going to go with what we had in the prior exercise of filtered image. All right. So that wraps it up for HTML. Over in the CSS, I can now start writing the animation code. So basically, I'm going to start with first grabbing that tag in the filtered image class. And here, using the animation property, I'm going to specify which filter I'm applying and what time span I want that to take effect over. So I'm going to use a filter we have not used yet, the saturate filter. Okay, so this adds saturation to images, the saturation effect, and I'm going to do it over a span of 4 seconds, starting at 100 and then moving up to a higher value. Okay, so that's part one of the CSS. Now I'm going to use my keyframe selector. And remember, oh, don't forget up here, you do want to use saturate and then the word filter or whatever filter you're using. You don't have to use saturate. I'm just using that here. Okay, so then I'm going to move over to keyframes, and this is the animation code. And we are going to start with the from saturate. The default value is 100%. So this is where your image starts at. Any values higher than 100% will result in really rich saturation, and that's what I'm trying to go for here. So I'm going to start at 100, and I'm going to basically double it. So my saturation is going to end at 200%. Okay, don't forget to close out your keyframe selector, and I think that looks good for what I'm trying to achieve. Remember, you don't have to use this filter. You can use any one you want. I'm just trying to expand our options here and play around with something different. Okay, so let's run this. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to refresh my page, and there you go. You should notice that the image now is really, really rich in color. This orange is like looking like fire, and yeah, I love this. If you want to use this, please feel free to go ahead. If you want to play around with something different, you can do that as well. Nice job on album cover, everyone. Keep up the great work. We have one more exercise left for animation.